It's fair to say we all fall off sometimes. We all go through periods where we're not our happy, chirpy self. You can be a positive person and be quite negative in moments because that is just life. There's a lot of pressure, there's a lot of responsibility, especially getting older. It can shake you sometimes, it can impact you, and this can creep up on you over a period of time, and before you know it, you are just in this rut, in this headspace that is not a pleasant place to be. Perhaps you're struggling to sleep, you might have that tight chest feeling, anxiety. One day you'll just wake up and you get to that natural point where it's like, I need to do something about it. And that basically summarizes me right now, and that is what inspired me today to want to film 10 things I'm doing currently to get my spark back. You can sit there and wait for the day you're going to feel happy again, wait for the day you're going to have all the motivation in the world. It's not coming. The only thing that is happening is you taking the action to make that happen. It's not realistic to think that your life is always going to be plain sailing and it's always going to be like sunshine and roses as much as we want it to be, but we can do things every single day to make our life that little bit happier and just add positivity into it and just be kind to ourselves. As a girl who is turning 30 this year, you know, I've got the pressures of that coming up. I've got the pressures of being a brand new female founder of a fashion brand, which is the most stressful thing I have ever done in my life. I've got the pressures of just running a house, having a partner, having friends, having family, having a dog, just having responsibilities. It's a lot, and I don't think anyone really tells you how hard being an adult and having all these responsibilities truly is, and it can take a toll on you at times, and you can lose your spark. You just lose that excitement, lose that happiness, lose that kind of just passion and joy for life. It is so normal. Someone could appear to have a lot and have it all and they could still be feeling like this. I don't think it's measured on financial status or career and any of these things. You could around you look like you've got everything or you're doing everything right, and you can still have this emptiness inside of you and just not feeling great. So this video is for anyone out there who is experiencing those kind of emotions, just to let you know this is so normal. I am going through it myself too. I think it's just the added responsibility and pressures in my life have just really made me crumble recently, and I'm just not feeling my best self. So we're going to talk through things you can implement which do not take up a lot of time, because we know when we're stressed and we're down and we're miserable, we don't want to be committing all our time away trying to fix it, because we just then bury our head in the sand even more. First one is probably something most of you already have. I don't, as a self-employed girl. That is to have structure to my day. I thought being able to get out of bed when I wanted, do whatever I wanted, because I have the ability to work until midnight if I want, would be good for me. I can tell you that has been the worst thing I have ever given into. I have truly given into the self-employed life of just, I'll get up early one day and I'll smash out a load of work. Another day, if I'm really not feeling it, I will just laze in bed, get up at maybe 8:30, 9, start my morning slowly. Before I know it, it's 11 o'clock at night. I'm still on my laptop because I didn't get stuff done, and there is no work-life balance. Implementing a level of structure in your day is really going to allow you to feel like you are taking control. And I think the feeling of taking control makes us feel happy, makes us feel good, because without even realizing it, you're accomplishing really little things. Ultimately, if you say to yourself, I'm going to get up at 7:30, I'm going to have a shower by then, I'm going to do this, do that, you've already accomplished things for that day without even realizing it, and that's starting your day on such a positive note. So that is something I am doing. I'm actively implementing more routine, just more discipline in my day, so that I stop just being all over the place and have a bit more of a work-life balance again. The next one might sound superficial, but I think it goes a long way, and that is looking presentable every single day. I've said this a lot of times in the past on my channel, because I do feel like when you show up as the best version of yourself every day, you're gonna perform better. If you look in the mirror and you like what you see, you're going to be more positive. Like, if I go to the shops and I have my makeup on and I feel good, I will be more inclined to just smile to people, be more chatty. If I go in there and I feel unpresentable and scruffy, I do not want to be seen by anyone. It puts me in a bad mood, and I know I'm not the only one. So I think even if it is literally a 5-minute makeup routine, you all have 5 minutes in the day you can take to pop on a tiny bit of makeup, to even just brush your hair, slick it down. Like today, I did not want to do my hair. I literally spent 2 minutes just putting a little bit of product in, slicking it down. It's better than my crazy scarecrow hair that I have for days on end when I'm in a rut and I don't want to do it. I've spent days on end with no makeup on, progressively looking worse and worse and worse, my fake tan wearing off, it's looking scaly, I'm looking gross, and that will honestly build up in terms of how I feel about myself, and I do not feel good at all. Whereas the minute I put some makeup on, on, the minute I put on a nice outfit, something comfortable like this but still presentable, I feel so much more inclined just to get on with my day and be productive, which ultimately makes me happy. If I'm productive, I'm a happy girl. Yeah, that's something I think goes a long way. It's even wearing a nice gym set. It hasn't got to be this crazy big, you know, curling your hair and this fancy outfit. It can just be a nice loungewear set that matches, but you've done a little bit of makeup, you've done your hair. Whatever that might look like for you, being presentable every day, I think it goes such a long way and makes you happier and starts your day on a really good note. The next one is romanticizing your routines. Now, we might not all have time to go to a spa, nor the money very often, or have beauty treatments done. They can take a lot of time. We don't always want to be doing them things, but what you can do is just romanticize the routines you have every day to make your life feel happier. Think of yourself like you are literally the main character in a film. By the way, sorry guys, I feel like I've got something in my eyeball, but it feels very scratchy. But think of your life literally as a film. You are the main character, because as much as people hate to say it, the world quite literally does revolve around you in your world, because this is your world. You're the only person living your world, your version of this life. So start thinking of yourself more like that, and what would that main character in the movie do? They would go get themselves a nice coffee in the morning, they would take a stroll, they would get the fresh air on their skin, they would just be romanticizing and living their life. And you don't have to have a lot of money or time to do that. You can literally have a shower, but find yourself a really nice shower gel that makes you smile. You could pop on your favorite fragrance every day. Stop waiting for that moment to wear that dress, wear that outfit, that fragrance, that makeup. I appreciate saving things for best when they're expensive, but at the same time, life is now, living now. Like, make every day special in its own unique way. If it's having your favorite lunch, if that is going for a coffee date with a friend and spending £5 on a little coffee and a pastry, there are things you can do every day to really add spark and joy into your day without lots of time or money being needed. And it's so easy to say, I just don't have the time, I can't do it. You can, it's a choice. And if you start making that choice and showing up for yourself, you're gonna be a better person. And that's another thing. We can all sit and say, I don't have time. I've lost count of the amount of times I say I don't have time for that. I'm working, I'm busy, I can't do it. No, all the things in your life are suffering because you're not doing this. By you not looking after yourself, you're actually really negatively impacting all the other things, because if you spent a bit more time on you, you'd actually be so much more productive and get so much more done and be a happier, bubblier person to be around. So looking after yourself is absolutely a job, and it's something we should all focus on. And I'm having this big moment this week of realizing that, because it's so incredibly true. The next one is to remember you are living this life for yourself. This is going to sound incredibly selfish, but as a serial people pleaser even over the years, I have spent my entire teens and 20s always pretty much living for the wants and needs of other people around me, and always really carrying such a heavy burden when I don't meet people's expectations of what they want, which often leaves me saying yes to plans I don't want to do, feeling like I'm the one that has to carry the friendship. And it's really, really difficult and really hard to change this if you are someone like this. It's incredibly, incredibly difficult. And I'm currently in that process right now. And don't get me wrong, it's so uncomfortable. It really, truly is very uncomfortable. But you do have to remember, this is your life. Yes, you want to please the people you love and the people around you, but you also have to please yourself as well. And by burning yourself out or doing things you don't want to do or accepting ways of treatment that don't align with your values is actually, again, it's only going to make yourself feel negatively towards yourself, and you have to feel happy to give good in the world and to give good to other people. So I think it's really important to reflect on this one. Stop feeling that guilt because you're not the first one to text all the time. If the friendship doesn't carry on because you are not always the one to pull it along, it's not a real friendship. So there's lots of things that you need to think about. And it could even be work as well. You may feel that you are absolutely slogging it. You are going above and beyond, and you're getting no recognition. Now, I like that because you've got it on your CV, so you can take that skill set elsewhere, but that's what I would be doing. I'd be going elsewhere. Don't stay in a situation that's not serving you and expecting it to change. Maybe retract a little bit, maybe stop giving so much, because you've got them skill sets now. You know you can go to another company and say, I can do this, but maybe stop going above and beyond if you're getting absolutely no recognition for it for a prolonged period of time, because that will only make you feel negatively towards yourself for allowing that to happen. Which then moves on to the next one, one of just setting boundaries. It's okay if you want to knuckle down a bit and stop being as sociable for a period of time. People around you just have to accept that. And you know, if you're not working on your goals because you're trying to please everyone else around you, that's not actually going to make you happy, and then that's just going to make you feel negative, and it just impacts this spark, this happiness that we have because we're not happy. So again, set healthy boundaries. It's okay to change the dynamic in situations you're in. Just communicate. I think not enough people in this world communicate. They have a problem, they don't communicate. They want something, they don't communicate. It's just so silly. It does not take a lot to just open your mouth or send a text, be polite. It's not hard. And this kind of goes back to the people pleasing thing. It's easy to be scared of this, scared of confrontation, but if actually verbalizing how you feel and how you want to change things is going to really deteriorate a situation, then it's not that strong anyway. So I am trying to get better at this myself too. Again, it's something I am working on actively. But if you're sensing a bad vibe or you feel like you want to say something, say it. You don't always have to say it. If silence would make you feel better because there's nothing needed to be said, do that too. But if it's a situation you feel you'd like to say something, then absolutely say it. And that could just be a case of, I don't want to go out drinking at the minute. Like I have said this to my friends, you know, there's been a few social things lately and I've had fun, but it's not aligning with who I am at the minute. I don't want to have the anxiety from alcohol. I don't want to have the, you know, feeling run down and the anxiety for days on end. Like, I don't want to be doing that. So I tell my friends, I communicate that because that's going to make me happy. And there's other things we can do together which don't involve going out late. And that's just a little example for you. And like, true people in your life will get that. So get better at setting those boundaries and absolutely sticking to them, because you think you're doing everyone good by bending over backwards, but they won't have respect for that situation. So you're not pleasing anyone really. You're just kind of allowing people to walk over you, which is not what anyone wants to be doing with their life. Next one, a boring one because everyone wants to do it but they don't want to do it, is moving your body every day. When I move my body, I feel so much better. When I get on that treadmill or get outside in the sun, there is never a time on this entire world, planet Earth, that I will say I don't want to do that after I've done it. Once I'm out there and I've done it, I'll be so happy that I have done it. I feel great, I feel lifted, I feel good about myself because I've actually said something and I've stuck to it. When you tick that box and you've done it, you'll feel happiness towards yourself for achieving that goal, for setting something out and actually doing it. Do you know how good that is for yourself? Get your body moving. There is not a single excuse anyone has to not move their body. If it's for 10 minutes, just 10 minutes in your living room, dancing around, if it's going out for an hour-long walk, if it's going to the gym, whatever exercise looks like for you, everyone should be moving their body to some extent every single day, and it's going to make such a difference to your overall mental well-being. Again, another boring one we always don't want to talk about too much, but it's nutrition. And it's so true. When I eat lots of sugar, processed foods, all that stuff, which has crept back in a little bit lately, I feel bloated, I feel tired, headaches, foggy, the list goes on. And that's before I get to the point of things feeling too tight, bloated and just yucky in yourself. It's not a nice feeling. We want to feel good about ourselves. If your diet is more nutritional for just a week, you just cut out the sugar, you eat clean, it doesn't have to be tiny portions, but just eating cleaner, you will feel a million times better. It doesn't matter about the scale, it doesn't matter about what we're looking at in the mirror. A week on eating like that, it will be night and day difference in terms of how you feel about yourself, because you feel like you've nurtured and looked after yourself, which makes you happy. So nutrition first, and always remember, food is fuel. You would not put diesel in a petrol car. I love saying that one. Setting realistic short-term goals. We can all set these big extravagant goals. I want to buy this car, I want to buy this house. They are big and they might take a little while to get to. Maybe we'll take a little bit longer than we wanted to, and that's absolutely okay. But when you're setting yourself up for these big goals, it can make us feel just a little bit disheartened when we're not reaching them. So I think it's also important just to set very realistic short-term goals. I say realistic because, again, if it's a little bit more realistic, it's more likely you're going to achieve it in a short time scale, and then it's going to give you that validation that I can do this, and that will then propel you forwards to your bigger goals. Don't get me wrong, the bigger goals are still realistic. Maybe realistic isn't the right word, but just, you know, less unattainable in the short-term goals is what I'm trying to say. Again, it could be, I want to get out for a walk 10 times this month, or, you know, I want to save XYZ amount. It's just these sort of things. If we set ourselves shorter term goals, things to work towards, as human beings, we love having things to work towards. We love fulfilling those things. So instead of just kind of floating through, waiting for this big goal to be met, let's just set little goals, and they don't have to be big. You don't need lots of goals, because if you overwhelm yourself with goals like I used to do, that's also not a good thing. So I'm just talking little goals. You don't even have to write them down, just have them in your head. Oh, I'd like to do that. And yeah, I think it will make your mind feel a lot happier once you achieve them. And it also reminds you every day why you're getting up, why you're setting these routines, why you're being positive, why you're doing all of this. It's because you want to achieve, and ultimately that achievement is going to make you happy. Next is going to be more time for plans. So if you are a serial workaholic like me, it can be very easy to say no, or I'm busy. I'm not saying you have to go out and see your friends every single week, but I think it is important to remember socializing is such a great way of filling up your cup. You can always say I'm too busy for that, but make the time for it. If you need to put your head down for a week because you've got an exam or you've got something important on, I get that. And also that's the boundary thing of you should be able to do that. However, don't do that for a prolonged period of time, because that's what I've been doing. And I tell you now, I feel so much happier when I see my friends, I see my family, I get out the house, I do things. That refreshing element to my day can really propel me forwards in work and actually just make me feel refreshed. You can just keep your head down and work. You'll actually just burn out, and then you won't be doing very well. So again, I feel like that's actually really underrated, that balance and that enjoyment. And ultimately we're here to live, we're here to like enjoy and love. We're not just here to work. And I know that this video for me is obviously focused more around work, but for you it might not be that that's the thing that's causing you the upset, but this still applies to you. If you're at home, you're feeling down in the dumps, you don't want to go out and see your friends, try and make a plan, even if it's something really little, like you go to a nice woodland and go for a nice walk, or you go to the beach, or whatever it looks like for you where you live. Try and make little plans, because it will honestly really fill your cup. And the last one is going to be phone down in the moment more. There is nothing worse than just sitting all night long, and I know because I spend my life doing it, okay? For work reasons and procrastination reasons and comparison reasons, it's just not healthy. We all like a scroll, it's fine, it's social connection, but we don't need to be doing it constantly. Put your phone down, be in the moment, be present in what you're doing. If you're watching TV with your partner, phone down. If you're having dinner, phone down. If you are with your friends, phone down. Like, just try and say to yourself, no, I'm not gonna go on my phone, it's down. Something I started doing was leaving my phone upstairs on charge and going downstairs in the morning. So I spend my first few hours of the day at the weekend, not in the week, not on my phone. Oh my goodness, it made such a difference to my happiness. Whereas I used to wake up, I say used to, I do. I wake up and I'm on my phone within like 1 minute of being awake. It is so toxic and bad and unhealthy, and we're not designed to be doing that. So yeah, that concludes the 10 things that I recommend doing to get your spark back. Doing these sort of things is just, you know, it's just thinking about the bigger picture, and it's thinking about, you could be saying I'm doing X, Y, Z now to get to this goal or whatever it is, but actually, if you're sacrificing all the other things, there is a lot more to life than just these goals. And if you're going to sacrifice your happiness, your health, your fitness, your friendships, your partner, your everything to get this goal, it's just not worth it. There has to be a balance, and I'm saying this with love to you all, and I'm saying it with love to myself, because it's literally me talking about myself right now. So yeah, I hope you took comfort from this video to know you're not alone, especially in your 20s, moving into your 30s, or maybe your 30s or 40s, however old you are, 50s, 60s. I've got viewers of all different ages. Getting into a rut is so normal. Getting your spark kind of lost for a period of time is so normal. We're probably going to lose it again at some point. Sorry to break it to you, but our spark isn't always going to be there. We just need to light it back up and let it burn and enjoy it. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'm going to stop waffling because this has been going a little while, but I do hope you've enjoyed, guys, and I really hope that I've given you something today that makes your day a little bit happier tomorrow, and I'll see you soon. Mwah. Bye guys.